There we go. Thank you for waiting one more minute, everybody, patiently. It is now 7:41. I had everything going great, and I decided to try out my new DJI Mimo, the DJI 3.4, whatever it is. I had a problem with it. It turned off my video, but we're back again with the crash test dummy here at now 7:42. I try to do the last 20 minutes of the hour on Monday evenings between 7:40 and 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time because I like the show in Canada called This Hour is 22 Minutes. In safety, what it really is 15 minutes of safety for eyewash, that type of idea. So I started my show with 22 minutes down to 20, but really it's usually about 15 minutes. So it's a really crazy idea, but that's what I'm doing with this right now. So anyway, what we're talking about right now, if you're looking and you're wondering if you're seeing what's going on, is what's in the box? Well, what is in the box? There's a lot of things that could happen in the box. The first thing I did was, I had an idea because it was kind of Christmas. I'm a movie buff, and there's a lot of good and bad in the world going on right now, and I thought of the movie Seven. What's in the box? There's good and bad actors. You got Brad Pitt, fantastic actor. There's the other guy nobody wants to talk about, nobody should talk about. And brings it all together, the dramatic, fantastic performances of Morgan Freeman. So, the triangle, the pinnacle of success. You have the two good triumphing over evil. So I think that's an amazing thing. And because it's Christmas, there's a lot of boxes being given and taken. You know, what's in the box is Christmas time. Give, take, receive, however it works. Box of gifts, box of food for giving, whatever gifts there are. Excuse me if I get distracted. I have a blow-up Santa in my front lawn who is riding a Snoopy plane, and the wind is blowing very strong. So what we are basically looking at is in the box, well, that's a reference to seven items of safety. What should you have in your box for safety? Well, first thing you think about is what's in the box. Your vehicle, your safety vehicle, your car, your safety kits, your trunk, those types of ideas, your glove box. What's in the box when you think about the safety world? So at Crash Test Dummy, we talk about staying safe in the world. The title was What's in the Box. It was based on a movie, good and bad. Take your review, but I do like that at this time of year. And we're talking about what should you have in your box of safety gear. Now here at Crash Test Dummy, we started, as I said, with This Hour is 22 Minutes. I'm Canadian. I'm drinking my tea. Excuse me here. Working with this mic instead of the AirPods today. We've also talked about shoe safety, keep your lid on it, head safety, shoe safety. Well, there's an awful lot of things. Toe the Line was a good one. We're at episode number 7 right now. I'd like to flip through all of them, but I have 3 different styles of note-taking. The paper style, the tablet style, which is down there, and of course the phone style, and the good old typing style. But really like to do is spend 15 minutes once a week making sure that people can remember how, learn about how to stay safe at work. And every once in a while, I'll see something new going on here. Like if you look over my left shoulder, Simple Green, the safety product that I use actually quite a bit with cleaning my safety equipment and my safety gear and cleaning my car to go on trips with. So I have pictures of my car when I go north, and I use that particular idea there. It's because it's NSF, which is food grade safety. So basically I can clean my barbecue, I can clean the tire rims on my truck when I get back from a trip up to the mines up north, and I can clean off my sports equipment and my trailer. I have a big RV, we like to camp, that's the type of idea, so I use that on absolutely everything. 95% of the applications, food grade, not a disinfectant, just a very good heavy-duty industrial degreaser is what I like it, cleaner. Give it a spray, give it a wipe, it's fantastic stuff. Grab a few YouTube videos off it, it's fantastic. Anyway, so that's what I like to do, is keep things clean. We're talking about an awful lot of safety stuff. What else do we like to talk about? We like to talk about the fun stuff, trying to stay safe, because as you can see, there's pretty well no one else here in the room with me. It's kind of fun, it's kind of interesting. We're trying to fireside chat, seeing what works. I'm on episode 7 now, but I think that somewhere along the way, I can use these later for people to maybe listen, jump onto the website and look back and say maybe this will help them a little bit. So, Crash Test Dummy, we are the original safety people. We break things and try to stay safe, not get hurt doing it. We try to extend that to everybody else. I'm not a safety guru, I just love the safety world. Trained for safety, been doing that for 12 years. Supply chain before that for 10 years. I don't know. I've been doing this for over 20 years now. And I think I can know a little bit about safety or two, but no one's an expert. Everyone should try to become an expert in it and do the best they can, because all these rules that we have are made up by people like us, trying to keep people like us safe. No matter how cool we are, as we talked about the last 2 weeks in tech safety, we talked about tech and VR, how we can deal with tech. No matter what, people themselves still have to work on the machines. People still get hurt. So we're talking about how to stay safe at work, play, and everything else. part of that is what's in the box. So, movie 7, good, bad, we went through that. One fun thing that I like to talk about, how I can tie things in. So, the car chase scene in the movie 7. What did you see there? Well, after the great big huge scene, Brad Pitt, he pushed himself up and he cut a tendon, a nerve, and 3 of his fingers during the movie, just filming it. So, it was a workplace accident. It was a personal accident, and it caused major ramifications that may have injured or ruined his career. He had to wear a cast throughout the whole rest of the movie, so it had to be written into the script. So you look about a movie, someone who's getting a little bit gung-ho, it's part of the scene, it needs to be done, it has to be taken care of. It's integral to the scene. Everyone remembers that scene. It's very important to them. But at the same point, Brad Pitt, everybody knows that name now, he cut a tendon, a nerve, and 3 fingers in the process of filming a movie and had to wear a cast for the rest of the movie. How did that impact the rest of the scenes? We don't know. Everyone loved the movie. Of course, there's the bad parts about what happens, but at the same point, it was a simple workplace accident. People are talking about right now in movie sets, of course, with the horrible, horrible accident on a workplace set with someone actually dying. This happens a lot. So tie this in. This is a famous actor who luckily did not stall his career, but that was very impactful. The cost alone to that movie set, just having script rewrites and changes alone, they would have had to pay a writer. They would have had to pay more insurance. The insurance costs would have gone up. They could have had reports would have had to be written. They could be under inspection. The actual person who was doing the logistics for the company, there would have been an awful lot of risks, reports, and files done. That incident alone probably would have ran over 6 figures just because someone wasn't careful enough to ensure that the glass that Brad Pitt was going to be leaning on, jumping out that window, was not properly cared for. It's like, whoa, Kurt, slow down. We can't overdo everything. No, you can't. I understand that. You have to be able to work. The whole process of what we do in safety is try to make the most effective, least aggressive form of safety to protect the worker. If someone had actually just inspected that glass before and said, hey, this could be a problem. Excuse me, sorry about that. This could be a problem. If perhaps someone thought further that he would have actually jumped through that particular area, what would have happened then? Well, we don't know. So, excuse me, a van just pulled up in front of my house that has a taxi. I'm not expecting anyone to leave. So, going back again, I'll edit that out later. What if a person who wasn't even the safety expert, what if a grip? What if somebody on the dolly cast? What if the AD? What if the vice principal of photography or whoever it goes, what if the person getting a cup of coffee and a sandwich to take to Brad Pitt because he's stuck there says, hey, is that safe? If you have to jump out that window, could that cut your hand? That took one person in the middle of nowhere to say that might not be safe. That's what we mean. Most effective, least aggressive. Just think twice about things. Who knows how much that actually cost that script in the end? Great movie, but what was the actual effect on that? That's one car scene in one movie. It sounds a little overkill, Kurt, but what do you do? I'm in the safety world. It's boring. Everyone gets bored. But at the same time, it's the background stuff that keeps people like Brad Pitt safe and healthy at work. It's just like the actors and everybody always talks about their supporting crew. Safety is part of the supporting crew. Just keep an eye on it. Everyone, keep Brad Pitt safe. Write that down. Keep Brad Pitt safe at work. Everybody should love that one. Write that down. Anyway, past the car chase scene, what type of safety kit should we be looking at? Most common would be a survival safety kit that goes in the trunk of your car. There's a glove box safety kit. Of course, that goes in the front of your car, inside the car interior itself. And I'm going to pause this for 1 second. Excuse me. And of course, the sports leisure backpack type of kit. You know, you can get into the fun stuff like a go bag on TV, that type of idea. I call that more of the survival kit or that type of idea in a leisure mode. So there's type of things. So keeping with the 7 theme, we're going to be talking about 7 things that you should keep in a safety kit. So 3 different types of kits and 3 different types and 3 different items, 7 items. When I do safety talks, I did one at the Long Dam Lake project in November. I always talked about a 7-minute presentation 3 times. So I would have groups of people. I think I had to speak. I didn't have to. I was honored to speak. I was luckily invited. My goodness, what an honor. But we were invited to talk about safety to over 300 people. And I just said to them, there's 3 segments to think about. 7 minutes long. I'll say it 3 times. Hopefully you get one thing out of every segment. If you can do that, that just made my day and it made that whole trip worthwhile. So I'm going to do that for every single thing. Safety kits are the glove box, the trunk of the car, and your regular outdoor leisure stuff, that type of idea. As we hit 7:51 of the hour, that must mean it's take a sip of tea time, Kurt. Yes, if everyone's wondering, it's the plain old Tetley style. A little bit of milk, sometimes a bit of sugar late at night, a little sweeten it up. I prefer honey. I just didn't get at it tonight. So anyway, going back to your regular car, your regular safety kits. Okay, in the trunk of your car, the common ones I like to think of would be your, you need, of course, a tire. A lot of times the newer cars don't really have a tire. They have a compressor kit, which is even better because it has multiple purposes. So you don't need to worry about the donut. You have like a type of a foam inflator as well as a compressor, one or the other. I prefer the compressors if you can have a battery pack. Foam has its uses as well, but depending on where you're going, one of those combinations. Some type of oil or coolant, lubricant, that type of idea. Make sure if you run out of oil, you drop something, you have extra windshield washer fluid, coolant, and oil. Simple things, especially in the wintertime. Those things should always be topped up before any trip. Have a little backup in the back trunk. It's not that hard. Everyone has a little bit extra. It's just pretty common things. One thing people don't think about is like a trenching tool. What I say for trunk of a car, some sort of shovel or grapple or something to dig snow out from under your tire, something to that effect, just to get things cleaned off. Even your ice scraper in the wintertime is a good trenching tool. Shovel. In the lack of that, you can look at some sort of kitty litter or something to get you out of snow in the wintertime. You should always look at having a blanket, like a blanket. And you're looking at a blanket to go with a candle. You have a candle and matches. A lighter is possible as well. A lot of people have a lighter. That'll work. So even better. A lot of people don't like to travel with a lighter because of combustion, but at the same time, you're in a combustion vehicle, so you think about that one a little bit further. So you have your blanket, your candle, your flare, your triangles, your reflections. Sorry, I'm going to pump this up. Your reflectors, some type of a way people can see you, something to light where you are, what you're doing, where you're at. That could be fun too. Another thing to think about is a bar, like a candy bar, a food bar, some sort of food source. So with every single one, food and water. And the last thing, especially for a vehicle, is some sort of multi-tool with your screwdriver, your regular normal screwdriver, your snippers, and a wrench, like some sort of gripping appliance. So pliers, snips of some sort, and something to screw in. So minimum 3-in-1 is probably the best thing to have. I like the 7-in-1s going with the 7 theme. That's a great thing to think about. In the actual, one thing to think about that goes between the back and the front is your paracord, that type of idea. So in the trunk of a car, we're going to be looking at a multi-tool, 7-in-1. You have your pliers, your wrench, 3 different types, your little bit cut-off saw, that type of idea. And it also has a flat end, believe it or not, to get underneath flat edges. Some people will have hidden keys for themselves underneath a plate or something. You have to screw off a license plate, not for bad, but for good, you have to find some way to get that done. Little pry-off tools, little cap tools, things like that. Little 7-in-1 multi-tool is a fantastic thing going with the 7 theme. So that's what you're looking at. Your 7 things: your tire, your oil, coolant, blankets, that type of idea. Same thing, 7 items. Your glove box. You need your personal ID, your medical ID, contact list, pen and pencil, paper, that type of thing. They go together well. Manual for the car. You may not have reception in some places. You can't just bring up your phone and Google that. Sorry, Dr. Google doesn't work when you don't have Wi-Fi. You actually need to look up your manual sometimes for where or how to inflate your tire if you have a flat. So just keep that manual structure where it belongs, in the glove box. Your insurance, of course, have to have that because one's proof of identity if you get lost in the woods or anywhere else. Plus, you should have that. And your pencil and paper, and again, the multi-tool. I love those multi-tools. 3-in-1 for the inside and the 7-in-1 in the back. So there's your 7 items for your glove box. Now the fun one, it is tea time again, sorry. Excuse me, the fun one is your sports leisure one. So your go bag, like you see on NCIS on TV and hear everyone talk about the go bag. Your go bag, your hiking bag, your sports and leisure bag, your go play soccer bag, your outdoor bag, your survival bag, that type of fun stuff. Real simple. It's a lot more basic than you would think. It gets more rugged the more intense it gets. So your go bag is basically a very hardcore sports and leisure bag, or your soccer bag, that type of idea. Simply your Band-Aids, your hand wipes, painkillers. I'm going to skip the paracords. Your water, food, and basically your backup emergency stash. I always have an alternate form of payment. No matter where I travel, I always carry some sort of form of cash because some people do not accept anything other than cash. And think about that, some people only have cash, or electronics may be down. As I said, some areas don't have Wi-Fi, so you have to worry about that as well. So have some sort of backup payment. Then you start going to the higher end, you start talking a go bag. Okay, your stash could be some Bitcoin wallet, some crypto. Back in the day, a stack of cash. I still carry a stack of cash sometimes when I travel. Plus, I usually separate a bank card with a personal card, that type of ID. Like I'll leave one in my vehicle when I have to travel. It is attached to one smaller bank account that's safe, and then I'll travel with it, my business one or that type of idea. So I try and keep a secondary stash or backup emergency type of payment. Also, believe it or not, fantastic for buying freezies after a really long frickin' soccer tournament. And everyone knows this one who had children that played soccer. Those year-end tournaments where you're looking at 5-6 hours of day-long heat before your final round, and people love freezes, and you've run out of ways to get kids, and here's your backup stash, backup payments in some way. It's just a great thing to have. And then, of course, in that one is what we call a paracord. That is a kind of a home tool. It's basically, it wraps around a bracelet. It's a 20-foot nylon cord that has a compass on it, a whistle on it. You should always have a whistle. So it'll include your whistle, your compass, a bit of a cutoff tool, 10 feet of nylon cord that can hold up to 550 pounds. That's why it's called a 550 paracord. A 550, sorry, yeah, slow this down, Kurt. Let's back up the train. It is a nylon kermitite cord. It holds up to 550 pounds, and it's a 10-foot rope. That's what a basic paracord is. It's used for go bags all the way down to hikers would use it to hold up their food at night if they're camping, to keep it up from the bears. So they would use that to stash their trash because they can hold up to 10 feet, get their bag, get their food out of their tent, that type of idea. If you have a wound, you can use it to tie a splint around your leg. You can splint that way. You can drag things with it. It's just a fantastic thing. You can pick up from anywhere from $5 to $50 at any outdoor store, online, everywhere you see. It's called a paracord. Everyone should have one anyway in their survival kit, and they're also really cool looking. You get some fantastic colors and neat things. So I like those, the paracords. So those are the basic things you can find in a sports and leisure pack as we come up to the top of the hour. I'm going to find a few more ways to make this more interesting along the way. I was outside last week and it was extremely cold. I tried to do a few things, had a few technical problems as I learned this application. But because I'm actually going to be streaming this to my own personal pictosafe.com website, plus I'm going to be entering into the metaverse pretty soon through the Pictoverse. It's the .io style, so I'm going to be going through all that. And I'm going to be keeping this just for that sake. So I'll be doing pitch decks on here. I'll be actually sharing some of what we're doing and sharing in our actual working in the tracker world, and how we're actually going to be helping people stay safe remotely. So we're going to be talking a little bit about how we're going to be going to the mine sites. We'll be working with the mines. We're going to be talking about how we're going to work remotely, and we'll get to the point we're going to see some really cool stuff, and hopefully one of my contacts will actually let me videotape an actual active working mine site and maybe some of the cool stuff. So I have a whole bunch of cool contacts. I hope to bring that to Crash Test Dummy, as long as this super app lets me keep doing this super cool stuff. To me anyway, I'm going to keep putting this on my page. So we're looking at pictosafe.com. It's all hashtag make it safe pictosafe. That's my world of the Crash Test Dummy. This week's episode was What's in the Box. We talked about safety kits. Safety kits so in your glove box, safety kits in the trunk of your car, and your basic outdoor hiking, leisure, go kit. So from the basic soccer type of idea all the way up to the hardcore go bags and serious stuff, but they all roll around the rule of 7. So 7. We stuck with 7. 7 minutes. That's what we work on. It's 21. Everyone loves 21. Everyone works in 7s, 3s, 3 times 7. This episode was What's in a Box, based on the movie 7, and that is this week's Crash Test Dummy. Thank you very much, everybody. Hope you had a fantastic week, and we'll see you next week, every Monday again, actually at 7:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, New York time, Toronto time, my favorite. Thank you, everybody. Have a fantastic